Hi, internet viewers. Frank Rauscher again. We now have the mouse all shaped out. I would hope that you're all there. And we smoothed it out. I sandpapered everything. And if anybody needs any of this sandpaper, I have these rotary sandpapers that can get in and do real small stuff. You get a set of 10 of these. They look like bullets or, well, here's one that's a bit worn down, but you get the mandrel and you get these, and there's a pack of them. And if anybody needs any of them, they're really handy. But anytime you're sanding with power, you want to run it at half speed. Okay, so I'm trying to let you know that, because these aren't made to go like 45,000. They're like 20,000, maybe a little less than that. So what I'm going to show you today, we're going to set the eyes, and then we're going to do a little bit of burning to get some of the a little more detail, and then we'll let's see how much time we have and stuff like that. I'm going to indicate to you what I use for sealing the piece, okay, before we start painting. So follow me on this. If anybody wants to try this, I have kits available, and if you'd like to try it, you can reach me through my email address. Excuse me. It's Rauscher, R-A-U-S-C-H-E-R, Frank, F-R-A-N-K, 7@gmail.com. And I could send you out a catalog. It lists all the different kits I have available, plus equipment and so on. And if there's anything you may need and you don't see it in the kit, check with me, because I don't put everything in those in the catalog itself. And I can you'll see it in there. There's a whole sheet on kits, and I've done a lot more than that, but I've only listed so many, and there's enough of them in there. And at least the ones that I've published for videos, so that if you want to follow along and get a kit and do it, it's all I can produce the kit for you, so you can follow along and do the project that I have set up. So, and if you are enjoying these videos, I would ask you if you could give me a thumbs up, and if you could subscribe to my channel. That would greatly help in the algorithms of YouTube, so that my base will grow and my numbers will grow, and that means a lot. And if you have friends that may want to try this too, and if you happen to belong to a club, if you could put my word out of my channel. I'm really trying to educate everybody that I could possibly reach, and I'm giving instructions as if you were taking a class with me. And I've done this in my studio here for about 30 years, but I've been teaching for about 50 years, which is surprising when I think about it. I say that, you know, it's like the old man, and I started with a knife carving, and now I'm into power carving. So I advanced, and I hope you'll enjoy it. And it's very relaxing, and I would say, hey, give it a shot, you know. And the other thing I want to mention too is that I'm teaching you my method, but that isn't the end all. If you have a friend or people that you know that are really doing some nice work, get with them too, talk to them, learn how they do things, and then you can incorporate what you learn from me, you can incorporate what you learn from them, and then you come up with your own style. And that's how I've done it. I was very fortunate to be trained by a professional bird carver, world class. His name was Ernie Mulemat. I started with him, studied for a couple of years, and then he stopped teaching for a while, and that made me start to work on my own development. And here I am today. So I hope you're learning from me, and it's a hand-me-down of what he taught me to some extent, plus my own experiences and what I've learned in between. And I'm trying to get you away from the pitfalls that may occur when you are carving, so that we could help you not make those mistakes. Okay, so and if you do, don't worry about it. We'll show you how to fix some things too. At least I try to. Okay, so don't always give up when you're carving, and you'd be surprised how a lot of things are out there that we can repair things too. So give it a shot. What I'm going to do is move the camera down so that you can follow me. I'm going to do some. All we're doing now is we're going to set eyes, and we're going to do a little bit of wood burning just to put some details, final details, little stuff. And then probably on the next video, or at least I'll talk to you about how I seal it. I may not be showing you, but I'll show you the product that I use, okay? And I'll also give you some other products that you can use that other people have suggested that they've had good results from too. And I'll pass that on as well. So bear with me, and we'll be right back. Okay, here we go again. Now, I have drilled the eyes in before to make sure I'm in, and we used this was a ruby ball one time. I like to use this, and I drill it in so far to try to have it recessed. And then these are glass eyes. They're brown with a black pupil. And what I do a lot is I put them in backwards to see if it's below the surface of the eye here, the eye hole, I should say. And what I'm going to do is make sure on both sides that it works that way. And I'll get this one and try this on this side. That looks pretty good too. It's below the surface. See, so the back of the glass eye, it's domed on one side, which is the one that's going to be facing outside. This is the back end. If the back end is flush or slightly below the surface of the wood, that's very well too. Now, as I was saying before about making mistakes, if you take too much wood out, this is a product called Quick Wood, and it's almost the same color as the basswood. And what it is, it's a two-part epoxy putty. I'll show you. It comes in a long container here. If you need any, you can give me a holler. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut a little bit, because you don't need a whole slice right here. You could do 100 of these, but it's going to set up. This is set up within 15 minutes, maybe a little longer, but you got very short time period to work with this. So what I'm trying to do is just get enough putty that I put into the eye, and then push the glass eye into it so it goes in, and I'll show you how to do that too. So I'm going to get this. It has a coating over it. So I'm going to come in. Now this, the other thing I wanted to explain, this is a two-part epoxy. On the outside is one, and then you see the lighter one in the middle here. I'm going to cut up a section that I got a pretty good cross section of the outside and the inside, but I'm not going to go right across, because that's too much and I don't need all that. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to cut some of this. Now, the two-part, say I got more than I need right there with these two eyes. And the thing is, this tends to set up. So if you were doing a tricky eye on a bird or something like that, you always want to put the cover on this too, okay? When you knead this together, it starts a chemical reaction, and that starts this setting up, okay? And I do this, I just knead it like so, okay? And what I'm trying to do is, it's got a light color in the middle and a pinkish tan color on the outside. And once you knead it, it all becomes one color. And that's what you're trying to achieve. And I just knead it until it becomes one, okay? Now, you don't need a whole lot. You don't need this whole thing in here. So I take about maybe a BB size of that. And I'm going to drop that right into the hole, okay? Just enough to fill the hole, okay, like that. You could push it in a little bit. And let's see where I'm at here. Just want to make sure I'm in camera range. I'm going to get a pencil because we're going to need that in a minute. And I'm using the eraser end this time. I'm going to get this glass eye, and now this time, instead of putting it in backwards, I'm going to stick this in with the dome side out, okay? So I had my hat on. Now I'm going to use my optivisor. If anybody ever needs any of these, I have some with lights and different lenses. If you're ever interested, I know I need them, but maybe somebody else would like them. I have them available. So I push that in, then I get a pencil point, and it's got to be a fairly sharp point, and I come around, and what I'm trying to do is take the excess out, okay? So I did that. Now I'm going to push that in a little bit more. Now, some of these holes got accidentally, I was trying to line the eyes up, and I may have made a larger hole for the glass eye, and I have to fill in some of this in the back here. So what I'm trying to do is get all the putty all the way around and fill some of the larger hole, so that, don't mind some of this is the pencil markings here that are coming through. But I come around on the whole eye and make sure that the putty is off the glass, and I use the point of my pencil. Then I smooth that out, and I'm going to put a little more putty in on the bottom here. I just made too big of a hole. Remember I was telling you, if you ever have to do a fix where you took too much wood out, this is perfect for that too. You can put it out here and put the wood back in, okay? Now, the only disadvantage sometimes is when you're burning, and the burning, you got to lower the temperature of the burner when you're burning through this, because it melts it rather than actually textures it. It doesn't burn this putty. Going to try to push this in at the bottom here, just to get this filled in here, just to make this eye look, I'm making it worse than what it is. It isn't that hard. Hopefully on the other side it'll come together faster. So I'm just going to smooth that out with my finger. And I don't have, let's see if this one goes easier. I'm getting about a BB size, something like that, of putty. We'll place that into the eye. So that's more than what I need in there. I'm going to get the eye. Yep, sure am. I'll put it so that the raised dome section is on top. I'm getting that right over the hole. I'm pushing that into the hole. Then I'm going to come in with a pencil. Let me get the excess that was on there before all. I'm going to take some of this, and it should come right off really easy. Okay, like that. Now I'm going to go around, just fill in with the excess that came out. And we'll add a little back here because you want to have like a little bit of a membrane all the way around the eye, but you want to get most of the putty off. That's what I'm doing here. I'm going to come around, making sure that most of the glass is exposed. And then to clean it up, I'll wet my brush, take all the moistures off of that, and just wipe this to get any of the remnants out of there. And that's how easy it is to do, okay? So I'll look at the eyes to make sure that the depth of this one and the depth of this one is similar. So I'll look from the top down, and maybe I'll push this in just a hair more. And you use the eraser side to do that. And what I do is I just push that in just a little bit. You'll see the putty oozing out a little bit. So I'll come in very gently, not to get more putty on the eye, but off the eye. And I do that with the point. Get rid of some of that. And I'll look down from the top, and the distance away from out from the eye is what you want to get, maybe a 1/16 or so out beyond the surface of the wood, and that should do it. Now your mouse has eyes, okay, and you can see what I'm talking about. For all the putty, I can do several more mice or whatever you want to call them. And this will set up in about 15 minutes. So don't try to take too much out. You're wasting it. Okay, so just to let you know that. Now, what I did also, I noticed that I wanted this to be tapered in a little bit, so I came out about, let's see, I'll give you a measurement. I want to make sure the nose, I use millimeters here, and the nose is out about 2.5 millimeters to the right, and about 2.5 to the left. And I put a mark, and then I just went around it to raise it just slightly with the flame. Okay, and I did that before, and I'm going to come in here and I cleaned that all out. Okay, then I sanded this to get any edges that may be in there. I hope I got most of it. At least I'm hoping I did. Now, this is the only other thing we need to do is right about here. Here's the bottom of the nose, and about a 1/16 back, I made a little C right on the center line here, and that's going to be the mouth of the mouse. Okay, And then what I also do is I come over here, and where the pawls are, just this one, I didn't worry about the ones on the bottom here. These are the most showy ones. I come in here and I strike a line. I got 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then I do the same thing over here. I go 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now they have like fingers, just like we do. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get my burning unit and I'm going to turn it on. And for those, I like the Optima 1 burning unit. I've been using that for years. I really like that a lot. There's a lot out there. This is just one of many, but if you're interested in a burning unit, I do have them available. And this reaches a certain temperature. I usually run it between a 5 and a 6. And now what I want to do is I want to come in on that C that's right on the center line, directly below the nose, about maybe a 16th back, maybe a little bit more than the 16th. And I'll show you where it's at. I'm going to ask you to put your burning pin right on that and go around. And now the mouse has a little mouth. That's all you want to show there, okay? It's that simple. It's not much at all. Now, I'm not outlining the nose or anything else with this. Now, I'm going to come into these paws. I'm going to come in. Sure I am. I hope I'm in line with this camera. I'm going to burn that one, and that one. And I'm just burning the lines. That's all. There. That takes care of that one. Then I'm going to come in here. Take your time. Hit your mark. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. That's the end of that as far as burning goes. Now, I'm going to talk you into a couple other things. To seal this, because we're going to use acrylic paint with water, and you don't want things to swell up, I use a Krylon spray. That's this guy right here. Krylon makes this one. Now, this has changed. The old number that they give you on here, let's see if I can find it. Here it is this one is 51301. It's a gloss Krylon clear, and it's a gloss, but it penetrates into the wood and it seals the wood. And we're using it like a sealer, okay? I usually hold this out about 6 inches, hold the tail. I get the sprayer, I hit it. You want to do this outside because the lacquer tends to permeate the air, and you can have that smell all over the house if you do it inside, but you can spray it. Then after it dries, or even before it dries, you can turn around, then do the tail where you were holding it. But you can hold the tail and get most of it on one shot. And if it gets on your hands, you just can wash it off. So I use this. This is Krylon spray. The original number on this before was 1301. Now it's 51301, and I believe Krylon changed the number again, and I don't have that in particular, that information. But what I want to also give you is some other things that I found out. And let's see if I have this over here. I saved information that I gained from other people that, let's see. Oh, here it is over here. I had written down that other people use 51301 or 1301, and that's Krylon, okay? KT sealer is another sealer you can use to put on this. And you also have depth, DEPH, and you can paint that on too, or spray it however it comes, and that's a great sealer. Now, I'm going to throw a curveball at you. You're going to see that many times I always avoid using gesso. Gesso is it's a medium that has heavy pigments, and if we had a lot of detail like a bird where we're making quills and veining it and everything else, it could fill them in. So I don't use gesso, or I water it down so much, but over the years I just stayed away from it. In this case here, because we're keeping this a smoothie, we're just going to paint right over it. It doesn't have a lot of detail other than the shape we made on it. And we can get away using gesso. So if you have gesso, use it. Paint it all white. Okay, it's a white gesso, and that'll be fine too. Now, I'm going to throw you a couple other curveballs. But like I said, you have the KT sealer is available. The depth sealer is available. The Krylon spray, either 1301 or 51301. If you want, you can talk to Krylon and ask them what would be the replacement for the 51301, the number, and it usually has it on the can. It's a clear spray, and when it sprays, you don't want to leave this on plastic or something that had shellac on it, like this table. You want to put it on just a plain piece of wood, lay it on there, and let it dry for about 20 minutes. I usually go an hour just to play safe, and let it sit. A lot of times I do it in the evening, and then the next day I start working on it, just to let it really do it right. And the gesso, you could actually paint that right away, and then you can hair dry it if you need. So that expedites some of this. Okay, so you have a couple of choices, but I'm going to throw another curveball at you, because I did another one, and it wasn't what I call the smoothie here. This is all smoothed out, and I just painted that like a gray color with some white in here and a pink nose and a little bit of pink in the ears, and I'm going to show you how to paint that later. But like me, as you've seen in all my carvings, I do a lot of detail work. So I ended up doing another mouse where I tried to make it look, we'll say, more like a realistic, I was going to say bird, and it isn't. We'll call it a mouse, and I put fur on it, okay? And I went in and I burned all this. You don't need to do that. If you're just going to do something that's simple, quick, the gray mouse looks great for what we're doing. It's a novelty piece. Me, I just went ahead and I burned everything on here. So I want to show you that too. And that's exactly what I did here. So you can go a little crazy, and you need to get like the hairs to lay a certain way. It comes down the tail, it comes around on these leg parts here. Some of it's coming down this way, some of it's going back this way. Coming down off the back and off the ear, I start from the front and roll it to the back as far as line work. And coming through the head, I come straight back with just line work coming straight back, and then flaring out a little to the left and a little to the right. And you do the same thing as you come back in here and right through the ear. So I don't know if you could see this well. You can try mimicking what I have here. But I think this really serves the purpose, really, for what we're doing. And so I gave you a couple choices here. So what we're going to do on the next video, after this is sealed, then I'm going to show you how to paint this, okay? And it should come together quick, okay? Because there's not a lot of detail that we have to worry about, and I'll show you how to do that too. And on any of this, if you get a sealer on the eye, don't worry about it, because I'm going to show you how to take care of that on the next video, okay? So hope you enjoyed this segment of it, and what we're going to do is proceed on to the next one, and we'll wrap us up maybe, I think, maybe on the next one. It comes that fast, okay? And that's what I want to do, something short and sweet, and if you just have as a talking piece. And then what you can do is you can get a glass, and you can just hook these guys right onto it, okay? Like they're hanging in there, and they're just like a little novelty piece. Let me put that back on there, and that's what I'm trying to project, okay? Little fun. You can add this to a friend's glass or something like that when they stop over, and have some fun with it, you know, saying your friend's drinking a lot, you know, or something like that. So hope you enjoyed this so far. We will continue on, and I think we may wrap it up on the next video. So hope you learned something on this too. See you on the next video. And if you ever need anything, definitely contact me. My email address I gave in the front end of this video, and I also have it in the description of this video as well. So you can get me, and if you write to me, that'll give me your email. I'll send you a catalog back, and we could take care of you from there, okay? And or it has my phone number there, or my email. We could talk by email. We could talk by phone. So hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye.